Do 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 do. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Eat it. Good girl. Welcome to the best video that you are going to watch today. Many of you have waited an entire day for this video to come out, and you have prepared yourself with your special beverage. And if that is the case, join me with your special beverage and enjoy a toast in celebration of another episode of the One Meal channel. As usual, I have my hot, delicious bone broth, and we will enjoy it together in 1, 2, and 3. So good, it required 2 sips. All right, so we're gonna have an incredibly simple meal today. I'm all out of onion, so no onion will be had during our meal today. I'll go to the grocery store tomorrow and get some more stuff. I seem to always wait till the last minute till I need things, but that is fine. We will eat to our heart's content today. We will not go hungry. A couple of days ago, I did a video essentially doing a 2-month review of eating just 1 meal a day. And we're not quite at that 2-month mark yet, but regardless, we're eating the same meal every day now. We're not eating with as much variety as we did around the holidays. So I figured it would be a good time to just reflect on, what we've accomplished by eating 1 meal a day, what benefits it gives us, and why we started doing it in the first place. And to my surprise, the video was very well received. A lot of people made comments, some existing viewers, some new viewers, saying that they had also switched to eating 1 meal, well before stumbling across this channel. And they had done so for various reasons, but I think the common theme was just, it was a great way for people to lose weight. They switched to 1 meal a day. They used it, as a guideline rather than a rule. And many people, they lost 30, 50, 80 pounds. And congratulations if you guys are returning, because that's an incredible accomplishment. And that's something that you should be commended for. It's seriously huge to pull off something like that. It's very difficult to talk about in the moment, but after you accomplish it, it just feels like a huge relief, a literal burden, off your chest. So I figured it would be a good time for me to mention that I used to be 80 pounds overweight as well. I was an athlete in high school. I was a really good one. I went into the corporate world straight out of high school, essentially. I was really lucky that I didn't have to complete 4 years at university in order to do that. But the stress of being in that new job and feeling like I had to perform at an extremely high level day in and day out, it got to me. And so I ate my feelings. I ate tons of food every single day. I ate junk food. I ate all the food that was there in the office. I just ate. And I ballooned up, 80 pounds over what I weighed when I was in peak physical condition, in high school. So you imagine that, you're putting on all this muscle and all of this good stuff for high school sports. And then you end up, 60 to 80 pounds above that when you're not going to the gym and you're losing that muscle mass. I mean, that was really, really a big problem. And that was the origin of essentially eating 1 meal a day, where I went, okay, clearly I've developed some bad habits for myself. Clearly, eating all of this junk food is horrible, but fixing it all immediately just seems like an impossible task. And so I made a rule for myself. It started out where I said, hey, I just have to go a whole day without eating, because I clearly have plenty of calories left on my stomach that I'm going to survive. I'm just going to go a whole day without eating. And then the next day I'll eat whatever I want. That didn't work, because then I would just binge eat the following day and ruin all of my progress. Then I went, well, I'm going to cut down the amount of meals that I have. So at only one time in the day, at one period when I sit down, I can eat as much food as I possibly can but that's the one time that I get to eat. So that was, kind of the first meal setting. But I was still eating a ton of junk food. So after a couple of weeks of still eating junk food one time a day, I then slowly narrowed out cutting out junk food, cutting out soda, cutting out alcohol. And I gotta say, cutting out the soda and the alcohol was probably the biggest thing, because the soda just has so much sugar in it, and the alcohol causes a lot of inflammation. Don't get me wrong, I'm 26 now, and I love alcohol, but I just haven't had any alcohol in a very long time, because I'm concerned about that inflammation. Leading up to today, I feel like I found a relatively good balance where, if I eat in the morning, I do feel pretty tired, and even now eating in the afternoon, I feel pretty tired. So it's kind of a good balance to just say, okay, I'm going to eat this one meal. I don't really know how many calories it is. I used to count my macros and things like that, but I'm not anymore. But I'm eating, 2 to 3 pounds of food in, the late afternoon, which gives me plenty of time to digest it before going to bed, while also, keeping me kind of lean throughout the workday. Now, if I was going to go to the gym and be consistent in going to the gym, then I would eat more food than this. I would incorporate protein shakes. I would incorporate probably just a second meal altogether, because I would need it. But currently I work 2 jobs. The second job has inconsistent hours, and it made it very difficult for me to be consistent at the gym. So I just canceled my membership, because in my mind, if I can't be consistent at the gym, then there's really no reason for me to go, because that consistency is what gets you the results. Leading up to a couple of months ago, when my roommate said, hey, look, you cook the same meal every day, you only eat 1 meal a day, you're doing it already, you might as well just film yourself doing it. And 2 months ago, I filmed myself doing it and just was very straightforward about what I was doing, each step of the process. Didn't even say a whole lot. But now, with your comments and your influence here on the channel, it's given us more to talk about. And I just want to I mentioned it already, but congratulations to everyone out there that, regardless if you used a 1 meal process, whatever your process was, if you've lost a lot of weight, good for you. That's really cool. I've heard a lot of great stories about that. And I just want to congratulate you, because I know an equal amount of people that have not been able to accomplish that, and I'm rooting for them, because it's just a matter of time. So now that I've got all of that rambling out of the way, I got to admit, I don't have a whole lot left here to talk about. Really, I'm just going to enjoy making this meal. I got work in an hour and 15 minutes. So I'm going to put this together, I'm going to eat, I'm going to enjoy myself, and then we're going to call it good, and we're going to move on with my shift this evening. I am going to treat myself, though. The neighbors brought in some like ice cream popsicle things. I'm going to put a little bit less rice. I don't think I need that much rice today. They brought some ice cream on a stick things. And I'm already getting my carbs from, like the potato and from the rice that I cook up. But it's always nice to have something that's a little sweet every once in a while. So, I'm not perfect. I still have, energy drinks that I pick up from the gas station. The gas station also sells these nice, freshly made cookies. And when you, fill up your tank, you get points, and you can redeem those points for those cookies. So I do that probably about once a week. I still am, let's just say inconsistent if you're looking to be really strict with eating that one meal and staying really healthy, because it's nice to have tasty, delicious things that stimulate your dopamine receptors. It's not a good thing, it's just something that I enjoy. And in moderation, it shouldn't become an issue. It's that moderation that allows you to have those cookies once a week, and that popsicle every once in a while, those little treats. Because if you get to the point where I was at, where I was eating junk food and sweets just all the time, every time I can get my hands on it, it's just going to cause more problems, and you had to eradicate all of that from your diet altogether. And that's what sucks. That's what sucks. Not having that self-control and then having it get away from you. Now, wherever you are in life, with your personal goals when it comes to eating, there is no judgment being passed around. This is just a personal choice that I'm making here, and I encourage other people to try it if they think that it would be useful. But really, it's just about finding something that works for you. I have stories from other people that they did carnivore, and carnivore worked really well for them. People who did a pescatarian diet, and that worked really well for them. And then other people that just said that they weren't going to go on any diet at all because focusing too much on their diet was taking away from their job, and they were able to find a good balance, and all the power to them. They're super effective at what they do. They're a great family man or family woman. If focusing too much on a diet or whatever it is, it doesn't have to be related to food, this is going to get in the way, and you're still able to be productive, then yeah, who am I to say that you have to continue to make a change in your life? I will continue to strive to provide a little bit more variety from the food content that's on this channel. February is going to be a great month. I'm going to be able to get some variety. I'm going to be seeing my family in February. So I know that will be a fun experience for everybody. I'll try to cook in the kitchen. My mom and dad, my mom is Italian, and she's a really good cook. So I'm going to try to convince her to let me cook a little bit in the kitchen and assist her so that we can continue putting content out while I'm there. My dad, he's really good on the grill, but due to the weather that we have, it's the wintertime, so probably not doing a whole lot of grilling. But we'll see. We will see one way or another. We'll get a little bit of variety in the food, a little bit of variety in the content. We'll share that with everybody, and it will just have an excellent experience. So I'm going to turn that temp down just a little bit, because I've decided that we're going to be finishing up these potatoes here in a couple of days. Like I said, I need to go to the store. I'll definitely get some onions. I'll definitely get some garlic salt. So I used up all the garlic salt. It's not a tongue twister, but couldn't get that out. We'll see. I might not get potatoes. I might not do potatoes again. Yeah, we'll see. We'll absolutely see. There we go. Do 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 do. We've yet to cut our fingers here on the channel. I think I've mentioned that will happen. Well, that's not entirely true. I did, when I used the bopper, the little chopper for the garlic that we had with the trout about a month back, I did prick my finger just a little bit on that. But we have not drawn blood, if that makes sense. And hopefully that'll never happen, but it's happened before. I hope you guys enjoyed the video yesterday, and if you haven't watched it, you should definitely check it out. I just made a single guy omelet, which was an experience, we'll put it that way. If I want my food to look pretty, I can make it pretty. But generally speaking, it's like I don't really eat my food for the taste anymore. I eat it for what I think is going to be good for me. Again, with some exceptions. You think I drink an energy drink because it's good for me? No. Now you think I have the cookie or the little ice cream bar that I'm going to have today because it's good for me? No. But it makes up such a small portion of my diet. That's what I mean. The main portion of my diet, I do on what I think is good for me. You know, bone broth tastes amazing, but I drink it because it's good for me. Cooking my rice in bone broth has been awesome. The bacon here is essentially my treat. It has some good fats in it. Oof, I turned it down, but maybe not enough. Yeah, and again, all of this is up for interpretation from like a health standpoint. If you really think that you know like what food is healthy and what food is unhealthy, it's just so difficult to figure out. Of course, there are basic principles where you can understand. You know, if there's 70 ingredients on something that if you made it from home would only have 3, probably, you know, there's 67 additional ingredients, or probably there's something in there that's not good for you. Foods that are heavily processed are probably not good for you, and outside of causing some inflammation, I don't really know what's really bad about them. I just know they're not as good. You know, fats can be really bad for you too, but what type of fats that is? You know, bone broth fat, bacon fat is probably not as bad for you as fat coming from butter. But I don't know. I seriously, I don't know. I'm kind of winging it. I've done a lot of research, but the more I research, the more confused I get. And everybody has an opinion. I know you're going to the comments. You're gonna tell me what you guys know, and I'm not doubting that what you know could help, you know, improve my knowledge on certain subjects. But just because you're putting it in the comments doesn't make it any easier for me to understand. Because again, I'll go onto the internet and I'll find a story that confirms what you said and a story that is contrary to what you said. Like take eggs, for example. Some of you probably know exactly what I'm about to say, and for others, this will be the first time that you hear it. But when I was a kid, my dad told me that his cholesterol was a little bit high, and so that he was going to cut back on eggs. And that made a big impact because every single morning we would have bacon and eggs, and it was awesome. And we'd have, you know, 2 or 3 eggs and 2 strips of bacon. It was fantastic. That's where my love of bacon started. That's why I eat 4 eggs essentially a day today, because I just love that meal. And his doctor told him, they go, your cholesterol is a little high, and so you should cut back on eggs because eggs cause high cholesterol. And if you look at the study that the doctor is referencing, the study was not measuring anybody's cholesterol. The study was a survey where they surveyed 1,000 people about what they ate on, you know, throughout the week. You know, do you eat this many eggs? Do you eat this much meat? Do you eat this much cereal? Do you eat this much milk? And then they took the blood work of all of those people. And what they found was that a portion of the people that said that they had a certain amount of eggs every week also had high cholesterol. Well, here's some things that weren't in the survey. Do they smoke? Do they drink? You know, what type of lifestyle do they live? Do they work out? Do they go to the gym? Do they, you know, what other type of food? Are they cooking the egg and butter, you know, every day? There are just a lot of different factors that are not controlled because it was a survey. It wasn't a study about eggs and cholesterol. It was just a survey that was done, and the scientists noticed that there was a correlation between eggs and cholesterol. And as you know, correlation does not mean causation. And you look at Harvard studies today, and they find out that eggs are awesome at lowering the bad cholesterol in your body and raising the good cholesterol in your body. You know, you imagine my surprise when I learned that there was bad and good cholesterol. I had no idea that that was a thing until, you know, just a few years ago. So I have trouble now, like talking to my folks, my parents, and some other people, where they go, hey, you're eating a lot of eggs, aren't you worried about your cholesterol? Hey, you're having a lot of fat, you know, with bacon and with your bone broth, aren't you worried about your arteries? It's tough to have those conversations because there's an equal amount of information out there that they can find that tells them that what I'm doing is bad. And I can find information and share it with them that shows them if what I'm doing is good. But in the end of things, I don't want to have an argument with my parents about the things that I eat, right? That's not a worthwhile thing to argue with my folks about. I love them too much. They're too valuable to me. And at the end of the day, they really just want what's best for me. And they're overly protective, not overly protective. They're parents that are protective of their kid and they want what's best for me. So I would rather them be concerned about things that they really shouldn't be concerned about than never pay attention to me at all. And really, we just got to figure out, you know, what these personal decisions are for ourselves, and then just stick to them. You know, even if we don't always have the answers. If anything, just test things out. I think being able to test things out is probably one of the most important skill sets that you can have just in general. For me, it started with food, but you can incorporate that in every other aspect of your life. You know, with work, with, again, like with food, like I said, with your hobbies, with your relationships. All of those tests will help you grow into, let's just say, a more competent person. You'll have more experiences. You'll be less set in your ways. You'll be able to adjust to new challenges better. You'll be more informed. Even if everything that you test fails, then you'll know specifically how those things failed. And there's a lot of value in knowing how and why things failed. You know, and strangers will look at you and they'll say, well, why did he even test that out in the first place? Didn't he know that was going to fail? Well, yeah, but aren't you a smarter person for knowing specifically why something failed? Specifically how you can improve upon it? If you're making steps to improve yourself, that's all that matters. Whether or not that improvement occurs is secondary. And I know that seems counterproductive, but if you're not taking steps to try to improve yourself, there's a 0% chance that you actually will improve. So it's better to give yourself an opportunity and never improve than to not have any sort of opportunity at all. Yeah, I bet you didn't think that we were going to talk philosophically on a cooking channel. But when you make the same meal every single day, once a day, you try to find some new things to talk about. At the end of it all, I don't really care what I eat as long as the mess I make while cooking is easy to clean up. So cooking everything in one pan is almost essential. Crock pot meals are awesome. I would love to make some more crock pot food. The chicken and dumplings that we ate about a month ago, those were fantastic. Surf meal, which was just, basically a sort of stew made with the chicken broth. was fantastic. My roommate made that. He's an excellent cook. My roommate Noah is a fantastic cook. And he has no cooking experience or background. He makes the same breakfast for himself every single morning. Which is bacon and eggs and a tortilla. Really, really good breakfast. Daphne, you need to go outside? Or are you begging? Let's try to go outside. Oh, wow. She's an interesting dog. We have a good schedule and a good routine set out for her, but regardless of how consistent with that we are, she always seems to like wait for us to give her permission to do things, everything down to eating her food and using the bathroom. Did you do it? That's a little quick, don't you think? Do you think that was quick? We have a rule that if she goes number 2, she gets a little treat. Now, I didn't see if she went number 2 or not. I think she believes that if she just goes outside after eating, look at this in this hand. Sit down. Sit. Good girl. Regardless of how goofy she is a very good dog. Yeah. Largest eggshell in the bowl. This rice will be done any moment. The egg is ready to be added for our concoction here. Let's make sure that's not sticking to the bottom. Can't see the dog right now, but she is laying in her bed all nice and proper, not giving me any issues anymore, not begging. She has been made nice and happy, and it's just goes to show what can be accomplished. After feeding a gal when she's hungry. So, I think I got a text. I did. Let's see what we got here. This is my roommate. He's sending me cursed meme images. All right. I'm done waiting. The rice is ready. The rice is ready. Let's do this. Bone broth rice. Don't be surprised, it's not going to stick to the bottom, not going to stay stuck. It's not really the rice that's sticking, it's more of the broth. Probably let this cook a little bit more. Would have peeled off easier, but we want all of that brothy goodness in here. There we go. That's going to be good. That is going to be good, my friends. Fold this in on itself. I don't think anything's going to beat the egg fried rice experience like frying your rice up in a wok. But I don't have a wok. I am fascinated when I see people use their techniques when cooking with a wok. You know, you've seen those videos online where they're just something about that. After seeing it, you just know. That if you were served food from somebody using that technique, you know the food is just going to taste better automatically. Soy sauce. I'm going to turn that temperature up so that rice is still kind of wet. Oh, this bacon is good. This bacon is good. What do you think you're doing? What do you think you're doing? Why aren't you laying down on your bed? You are a good dog, but you have a very strange way of begging. With that 1 foot up. You are adorable. But sometimes you're not very smart. You are not allowed in the kitchen. Go lay down. Go back and lay down. Please. Please. I'm under the assumption that she completely knows all of the commands that I'm giving her. She just chooses not to listen. Yeah, I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you, puppy dog. I don't know what breed of dog she is. She was a rescue. But I think she's... I don't think I'm underestimating her age. I think she's 8 years old. For whatever reason, I was thinking she was 12. But I believe she's 8 years old. She is getting up there. She is getting up there in age. But not quite 12 years old. That would be a little rude of me to assume. All right, we're almost done. We're almost done. Let's wrap up. Let's wrap up. That smells good. You guys are missing out not having smell-o-vision. See, I don't care about all that quantum computing, revolutions that we're going through right now, new inventions. I don't care about all that stuff. If we don't have smell-o-vision, if we can't smell the things on the other side of the screen that we're watching, is it even worth our time? Alright, I'll turn that off. We'll head over here. Just amazing, amazing stuff. Now, I usually put sriracha in my food, but when I've been using the bone broth, I've been trying to stay away from the sriracha because I like having the bone broth flavor kind of stay true to itself. Even adding the soy sauce, I'm a little hesitant to try, but I tried it the other day. Tasted great. So we'll do this. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Look at that. A little smaller portion than what we usually have. And I am completely okay with that. I don't think we're going to crest 2 pounds. And hey, you new viewers that are watching this for the first time that have stuck around here to the end, you get the special treat. You get the special treat. That is our tradition of weighing our food. So we'll zero this out because the bowl itself weighs 2 pounds, which is wild. It's a heavy bowl. And put this on top. We're at 1.5 pounds, and I'm completely okay with that. I'm completely okay with that because I've been eating part of my meal and then saving it and then eating it later in the day. And having this smaller portion is going to help me get back on track to just eating one full portion of my meal at one point in the day. So I have content to come out with every single day, which is what we do here on this channel. We upload a video at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time every single day. We make food just like this. We have conversations just like this. And if you have something that you want to talk about that hasn't been discussed on this channel before, feel free to leave a comment down below and let me know what you would like to discuss later on in the week. I appreciate all of you for tuning in today. This is the treat that I said I was going to have for myself. I do not care that I'm having dessert before I have dinner, because guess what? This is my house and I get to eat what I want. So, thank you all for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.